Have you ever had that feeling, where nothing huge has gone wrong, but your energy tank just feels perpetually empty? It's not like some big dramatic failure. It's more this quiet hum underneath everything. Things just feel off.
Yeah, that ambient feeling.
Right.
Yeah.
And your motivation's just gone, vanished. Even tiny decisions feel like you're wading through thick mud.
It's such a common state, isn't it? Almost like the default modern exhaustion. We tend to think, mental health is about the big shocks, the crisis, the breakup, the job loss.
The headline events.
Exactly. But what we're diving into today suggests something, well, sneakier. It's the micro habits. These tiny, almost invisible things we do every single day. Individually, they don't seem like a big deal, but they quietly, steadily drain our inner reserves until suddenly we hit empty.
It's like we're waiting for a hurricane, but meanwhile, the bucket's got all these tiny leaks.
That's a great way to put it. Mental health isn't just crisis management. It's really about managing the day-to-day, the consistency.
Okay, so today we're getting into 8 of these seemingly small daily habits, these little psychological holes in the energy bucket.
Yeah, and we want to look at why they actually hurt, the mechanism behind them, and then what simple swaps you can make. Practical stuff.
Let's do it. Unpack these invisible drains.
All right, first up, maybe the most common internal drain, skipping emotional check-ins.
You mean like actually stopping to ask yourself, how am I really feeling right now? Beyond just fine.
Exactly that. We move so fast, we default to fine, or okay, it's easier, right? Path of least resistance.
Oh, really?
But psychologically, it's costly. It's a kind of self-betrayal, really. Because when we ignore those feelings, they don't just evaporate.
No, they hang around.
They get buried. Think of it like building up psychic debt. You're storing away this unpaid emotional labor.
Huh. Psychic debt. I like that.
And it just compounds silently until, boom, burnout or anxiety spikes, or maybe those sudden emotional outbursts that seem to come from nowhere.
Yeah, and by the time you feel that burnout, it's hard to trace it back. You can't remember all those tiny moments you just said, I'm fine.
Precisely. So how do you start fixing that? The key is building emotional awareness. Daily journaling is one way, sure.
But that can feel like another chore sometimes.
It can. So maybe start smaller. Like 3 minutes before bed, just try to name 2 distinct emotions you felt that day. Not just stressed, but maybe frustrated by that meeting, and also relieved the evening was quiet.
Making it specific.
Yes. And, external accountability helps too.
Like talking to someone.
Right. Maybe a weekly check-in with a partner or a trusted friend. Just having that structure makes you actually articulate the feelings, not just let them swirl vaguely. Emotional intelligence, it's like a muscle.
You got to use it or lose it.
You do.
The
Which leads right into the second habit, saying, I'm fine when you're absolutely not.
the classic. I get why we do it. It's a social shield, right? Avoids awkwardness, avoids having to explain yourself when maybe the other person doesn't even really want to know.
Totally understandable. But that performance, it's expensive.
How so?
Well, the science is pretty clear here. It actually takes a physical toll. When you actively suppress an emotion, forcing a smile when you're feeling angry or sad, your body registers that conflict.
Yeah.
Studies show it literally raises your heart rate, increases measurable stress hormones. So you're making the internal reality worse while trying to manage the external perception.
Wow. So you're using up energy just to keep the mask on.
Yeah.
Energy you could be using to actually deal with the feeling.
Exactly. That's the key insight. You don't owe everyone your deepest feelings, of course not. But you kind of owe yourself honesty. It doesn't mean melting down in public, but just finding a tiny moment, even 2 seconds, to acknowledge internally, okay, I'm actually really frustrated right now. That recognition itself is a vital form of self-care. It lowers the internal pressure.
Okay, let's switch gears a bit.
Yeah.
From the internal stuff to the external drains. Starting with, oh man, the big one. Doom scrolling first thing in the morning. That almost involuntary reflex. Alarm goes off. Hand reaches for the phone.
It's maybe the worst possible way to start your day. Think about your brain when you first wake up. It's in this really suggestible, absorbent state.
Like a sponge?
Totally. And then you immediately flood it with bad news, political fights, other people's perfectly curated lives on social media.
Yeah.
You're basically setting your baseline stress level for the day before you even get out of bed. It's like pouring cortisol straight into your morning coffee.
You start the day already on high alert. Or feeling inadequate because you saw someone's vacation pics.
Exactly. The solution here is, well, critical. You need to consciously swap that scroll for a calm, intentional start.
Like what?
Could be anything simple, 5 minutes of music you like, some light stretching, maybe just silence while you drink a glass of water. The point is giving your own system a chance to wake up and regulate before you invite the world's chaos in.
Protect that first hour.
Fiercely. It sets the tone. Okay, moving from digital clutter to mental clutter, letting small tasks pile up.
Oh, I know this one. Why does putting off that quick 2-minute email or, making that dentist appointment feel so much heavier than the actual effort involved?
That's a great question, and it gets at something really important about our cognitive load. Those unfinished tasks, they don't just vanish.
No.
They hang around in the back of your mind, like open tabs on a computer browser, quietly draining resources. There's actually a name for this, the Zeigarnik effect.
Zeigarnik effect. What's that?
It's the psychological finding that we tend to remember incomplete or interrupted tasks much better than completed ones.
Huh. So my brain is actively tracking that email I haven't sent.
Pretty much. Your brain is wired for closure. When a task is open, your working memory keeps nudging you about it, running it in the background. It's inefficient.
And if you have a dozen of those little things?
Exactly. It creates this constant low-grade mental fatigue. It's the cost of all that background processing and task switching.
Okay, so if the brain wants closure, give it closure.
Precisely. Embrace the 2-minute rule. It's simple. If a task takes less than 2 minutes, just do it. Right then.
Don't schedule it. Don't put it on a list.
Just execute. Bang it out. Those tiny wins are surprisingly powerful. They clear out that mental clutter, lighten the load. Feels good.
All right, next micro habit. This one feels related to presence.
Yeah.
Mindless eating.
Mm-hmm.
We've all done it right.
Yeah.
Shoveling down lunch while staring at the laptop. Eating dinner while scrolling on our phones. It makes me wonder, if we rush through enjoying food, what else are we rushing through?
That's a profound connection. Mindless consumption, whether it's food or information, just pulls us right out of the present moment. It blurs everything together. There's a wonderful Japanese concept here, ichigo ichi-e.
Ichigo ichi-e.
Yeah, it roughly translates to one time, one meeting. It's this reminder that every moment, every encounter is unique and will never happen again in quite the same way. So savor it.
Wow, applying that to eating.
It means slowing down, actually tasting the food, appreciating the textures, the smells, maybe the effort that went into making it. It sounds simple, but studies link mindful eating to better digestion, lower stress.
Because you're actually there,
Yeah,
anchored in the present.
exactly. You're not worrying about the past or anxious about the future. You're just eating. Okay, next one. A huge drain on self-esteem globally, comparing yourself online.
Ugh. The comparison trap. Intellectually, we know social media is curated. It's a highlight reel.
We know it.
And yet,
Mm-hmm.
it still manages to trick us into feeling like everyone else is somehow doing better, more successful, more exciting, more put together.
It's such a fast track to envy, insecurity, feeling like you're not enough. Comparison convinces your brain there's this fundamental scarcity, like there isn't enough success or happiness to go around.
Yeah.
And the problem isn't just seeing the perfect picture. It's the mental energy you spend measuring yourself against it, internalizing that perceived gap.
And just saying stop looking doesn't really work, does it?
Okay, yeah.
These platforms are designed to hook us.
That's the real challenge. So the solution isn't always total abandonment, though taking breaks, doing a digital detox can be really helpful.
So what's the practical step?
Aggressive curation. You need to actively shape your feed. Make it a place that genuinely inspires you or connects you, not a place that makes you feel pressured or less than.
Like unfollowing accounts that trigger that feeling.
Absolutely. Unfollow relentlessly. Ask yourself, does this account make me feel good, or does it make me feel anxious or envious? You have the power to make your online space feel safer, more uplifting, more real.
Okay. Habit number 7. This one feels like a boundary issue. Saying yes when you really, really want to say no.
People pleasing.
Yeah. It seems polite on the surface, maybe even necessary sometimes, but man, it costs you your peace of mind. You end up feeling drained, maybe resentful, definitely disconnected from what you actually need or want.
There's a really interesting core misunderstanding about boundaries here. People often think setting a boundary is like building a wall, pushing people away.
Right, like it's selfish or aggressive.
But that's not it at all. A better way to think about it is that boundaries are actually bridges.
Bridges, how so?
They're bridges to a more honest, more balanced version of yourself, and ultimately to more authentic relationships. When you say no to something you genuinely don't have the capacity for, you're actually saying yes to your own energy, your mental health, your priorities.
Okay, I like that reframing. But practically speaking, what about the guilt? Saying no, especially to family or friends, can feel really hard.
Oh, the guilt is real. But often, that guilt is learned behavior, not objective truth. You have to consciously reframe it. Setting a boundary isn't selfish, it's an act of emotional self-respect.
So how do you start?
Start small. Instead of an immediate reflexive yes, try saying something like, let me check my calendar and get back to you. Or I need to think about my capacity for that.
Buys you time.
Exactly. It creates a small space for you to make a decision based on your actual bandwidth, not just panic or obligation. It reinforces that your time and energy are valuable.
All right, on to our final habit. And this one feels particularly tricky, maybe insidious. Forcing yourself to always be positive.
Toxic positivity.
Yeah, we get bombarded with messages about gratitude, looking on the bright side, finding the silver lining. And gratitude is powerful, don't get me wrong.
It absolutely is.
But when does it cross the line? When does it become toxic?
It becomes toxic positivity when it's used to deny or suppress genuine, difficult emotions. When you tell yourself or someone else tells you, oh, you shouldn't feel sad because others have it worse, or just be grateful for what you have as a way to shut down real pain.
So it's like using positivity as a weapon against your own feelings.
Precisely. It's a denial of reality. And the truth is, you are allowed to be frustrated. You're allowed to be sad, angry, disappointed, or just not okay.
So real healing isn't about pretending the pain isn't there.
Absolutely not. Real growth, real healing comes from acknowledging the pain, allowing it space, sitting with it, even when it's uncomfortable, and then deciding how you want to move forward.
It's not either.
No. Gratitude and pain can, and very often do, coexist. You can be deeply grateful for your friends while also being incredibly frustrated by your job situation. Honesty with yourself about your whole emotional state, that's the foundation of genuine mental well-being.
So when we look back at all 8 of these habits,
Yeah.
the skipping check-ins, the I'm fine, the doom scrolling, ignoring small tasks, mindless eating, comparison, people-pleasing, forced positivity, none of them alone seems like a catastrophe.
Right. Not individual.
But the core lesson here seems to be the compounding effect.
That's exactly it. They stack up day after day, week after week. They silently wear you down, like those constant small leaks we talked about.
And eventually the bucket is empty.
Yeah. And when they pile up like that, it really can feel like your mental health is just slipping away, but without one big, obvious reason. The reason is the slow, steady drip of these micro drains.
Okay, that's the downside. But the flip side must also be true.
Right. Absolutely. That's the hopeful part. If small, consistent negative habits can drain us, then small, consistent, intentional habits can absolutely lift us back up. The inverse power is just as real. Tag, outro. So, if we pull this all together, connecting it to the bigger picture, the goal isn't suddenly becoming perfect overnight. Eradicating every single misstep isn't realistic or even necessary.
No perfection needed?
No, the real goal is awareness. Just starting to pay attention to these quiet leaks in your own life, because simply noticing these micro habits, becoming aware of them, that's the first, most powerful step toward regaining some control over your mental landscape. It's like doing an audit of the invisible energy transactions of your day.
Okay, so that really brings up an important question for everyone listening. Now that you've heard about these silent drainers, maybe recognized a few. Which one feels like a place you could start? Which micro habit could you tackle first? Maybe swapping 5 minutes of scrolling for 5 minutes of silence, doing one 2-minute task immediately, saying one small, honest no. What's one tiny win you could create for yourself, maybe even today, that starts to plug one of those leaks?
And maybe reflect on this final thought. If making just one small commitment to self-respect today, maybe it's setting that boundary, having one mindful bite of food, or just admitting to yourself, I'm not fine right now, if that small act can potentially prevent a bigger wave of anxiety or stress down the line, what's the real cost of continuing to pretend everything is okay?